Where's Elaina Rose? There you are. Look at all the
Oh my
hearts.
gosh. Hi.
Oh my gosh, there you are.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so is it just is it my screen or is it really your hair is colored?
I colored my hair. Quarantine goals.
Wow, is it rainbow? It's like
Yeah, I had Mel do it for me. It's like red and yellow and green in the front, green on this side.
wow.
I have some purple in the back, but
Wow, I haven't seen well, obviously I haven't seen anybody in a while, but especially the seniors since I don't teach the seniors, so
I know. A pass in the hallway.
since I seen some colored hair. You know. Is it
I had to
new?
spice things up a little bit.
It's new though. Did you have different color recently?
Color it recently?
Did you have different color than what you have now?
Oh no, I was just getting bored. You know, when you're looking at yourself on Zoom all the time, I needed like some change.
You didn't want to go for the shaved look that I mean a lot of people are doing the clippers?
I honestly, I mean, I shaved a little more off underneath. I don't know if you can tell, but the mohawk is coming soon, I promise.
That would be great with the rainbow.
Yeah, right?
I'm trying to get it. I should have measured at the beginning of all this to see how short it was. I'm trying to get it so it's so high that it goes out of frame on my Zoom calls with the students.
See, I knew you'd appreciate the hair because in the intro, you reminded me, your little like fray thing. I love it.
It's like everybody's. It's out of control. Yeah,
It's great.
it's a little crazy. So, where are you calling from? Where are you these days?
Right. Okay, so I'm calling from Altamont, so not that far from Albany, where we once were, about 30 minutes away.
Okay. Elaina Rose Brown,
Yes.
if you didn't say that. So, give us a little intro about your project.
So for my thesis project, it's called The Masks of War. It's a project highlighting art therapy and creative therapies and specifically art therapy, but saying what it can do for veterans who suffer from depression, traumatic brain injury, and post-traumatic stress disorder.
And so how did you, I mean, that's a pretty serious topic.
Yeah.
So how did you come to choose that topic for a thesis project? I mean, thesis project is a long, year-long project. So it's got to be something you want to be interested in and sustain yourself. And that's a pretty challenging topic to think about and to work with for almost a whole academic year. So how'd you come about that topic?
So I was going to say since senior year of high school, I didn't actually know what the practice of art therapy was. I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for. Obviously, design was in mind, but my dad was offering me other ideas of what could possibly be interesting to me, and he told me about art therapy. So I learned about it in high school, around the end of high school, and it was always kind of prevalent in the back of my mind as something I might want to continue education in. So I always knew I was interested in it and wanted to know more about it. And then last year, my brother decided to enlist into the Marines. So his going to boot camp and deciding to make such a life change, that inspired me and made me think more about what veterans and people who are deployed have to go through in their experience. So with both those things on my mind, I thought combining them and seeing what art therapy could offer as a solution to veterans might be an interesting topic to go with.
Mm-hmm. And so I've got a couple images that you sent me. So it's a little hard to see with my face over that, but it says masks.
Sorry, yeah.
What's the title here? The mask.
That is the title page.
So what's the title of the project? The Masks of
War.
Okay. And how did that come about?
Okay. Oh yeah, this is the interesting part. So while I was looking into what art therapy could do for veterans and different types of different techniques art therapists use with veterans, I came across this project called a mask project, and people all throughout different clients of art therapists have used the mask making project. essentially the concept behind it is so a mask is meant to protect you, basically, cover your identity, but you're making a mask showing all the feelings you have inside, and then wearing that mask and owning those feelings. And I came across this, like a whole plethora of different masks created by veterans in different programs. So the main project I highlight throughout the book is the masks that they've made. So on every spread, there's masks coming in. And I connect those masks back to the stories of the veterans who made them.
And so that the masks project, that's a form of art therapy?
Yeah, it's like there's different kind of projects and exercises you can do when you're working under an art therapist. Or when you're receiving therapy under an art therapist, there's different projects you can do, and that's one of them.
Great. And so does your project, your book, it talks about other examples of art therapy that you would do with the veterans, or?
It's like there's a general, in the book, there's a general overview. When I introduce art therapy as a topic, I kind of highlight the different, there's art therapy, art as therapy, and then art therapy. And the difference is, like, one is towards using art to soothe, and it could be from cognitive disabilities, things like that. And then there's art therapy that's focused more psychological based. So I kind of go over the basic of that, and then I go more into why those two different things could help the different disorders I highlight. So the TBI, the PTSD, and the depression. And the mask project was one that stood out to me as it kind of encapsulated a lot of those different things. And there were a lot of different veterans who had a lot of different experiences that I thought tied back into it. So that was the one I mainly focused on, but I mentioned art therapy as a whole prior to that.
Okay. And so is your whole did you make a book? What was the thing that you made for your project?
Yeah, so mine was a book. I thought it might be interesting if my audience was someone who come across it in a bookstore, come across it, and maybe someone could offer it to somebody as something that they could look over if they feel like that person might be in need of help. And so I wanted to do a book for mine. I also included takeaways, but we didn't end up having we haven't yet anyway had a senior show. So those are kind of on the back burner at the moment.
So can you tell us what they would be? Or, I mean, you have all the time to read them, I suppose.
I have them with me. I can actually show them to you.
Oh, great.
Let me flip my thing. So as you can see my little cursor here, hopefully, I would take a mask and I would take the story that was connected to it, and it was kind of like a card you could take away if somebody were to resonate with one of the stories or one of the masks, and they could just have it with them, hopefully as inspiration, or maybe just to remind themselves of, like, the situations that people are putting themselves in for us, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I had 6 different cards.
6 different cards. And are they themed at all? Like, is there like a topic about the particular masks that you chose for the cards? Is there something specific about them?
It was just the story of the person who made the mask, and then the mask that they made on the other side.
Okay.
Or quote.
Right. So I noticed in your intro that you sent me, and this is nothing new. I imagine this will be on the wall in the gallery or somewhere in your project. This is I think you mentioned it earlier, but there's a family member, right? So your brother was in the Marines. Is he still in the Marines? See?
He is. Actually, what with the pandemic, he wasn't able to come home yet. It was extended a little bit, so he's going to be coming home sometime early June.
Early June. And
he's finishing school right now.
And where is he, or where was he around the world and as a Marine?
He just started last year, so he finished out boot camp and ended in November. He's been to Pensacola, Florida. Right now I want to say Arkansas. And he should be coming home. He's just graduating from school. So it's like the very beginning of his journey as a Marine.
Yeah.
And for me, just like as the big sister, you know, like very worried, scared as always I am. So just just wanting to know more about what he might be going through starting out and how he might be experiencing it, combined with something I was interested regarding art.
Yeah, well, it sounds like he has somebody, somebody in you that he can just share what's going on with him, right? And it seems like you're definitely that person for him, and I think for people that know you.
Thank you.
You just have a sweet way about you. Before we got about a minute, you are a graphic design major, but you have this other interest in art therapy. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe future plans?
Oh yeah. Right now, with how everything is, my life is almost on pause. I'm still considering grad school for art therapy. I'd like to go to Lesley University, but just weighing my options kind of thing. But art therapy is always really interesting to me, and a lot of the people I've met who are art therapists went back to school in like their 40s and 50s. So I always kind of think of it as there's always time, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people sort of taking this time to pause and maybe think about some things differently. So
yeah,
we're
exactly.
so proud of you. We got to wrap up. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you. I miss everyone.
All right. We'll see you around. See you next week.
Bye.
All right. Let's see. Who's up next? Up next is Gab. Where's Gab? Are you on there?